entertaining and enjoyable for a specific age group, and to use vivid imagery and voice to enhance the tale. He has 7 to 9 minutes for his speech.
What module is that from?
Storytelling module.
Storytelling. Oh. Okay.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our most welcome returning guests. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Momotaro, also known as Peach Boy in Japanese. This story is often told to children, but it's also a story sometimes told in times of crisis or difficulty, as it's known as an inspiring story of various people working together. Now, the story starts a long time ago. In somewhere out in the country, there's a forest, there's a river, and out there live an old man and an old woman. And this old man and woman, they're poor, they're farmers, they have just enough to get by. The man often goes out for walks in the forest, and once in a while the old woman will go to the river to do laundry and wash her clothes, because that's how they did it back then. So one day, the old woman went out to the river to wash her clothes, and down the river floated a peach. "Oh, what a lovely peach," she said, and picked it up, took a bite from it, and it was delicious. It was a great peach. So she ate that, went along washing her clothes. As she washed her clothes, she hummed a little song. And down the river came this huge, giant peach. Well, maybe not giant, but fairly sizable, about this big. It came down the river, it floated. Obviously, she's wondering what this is, so she reaches over, grabs it, pulls it to shore. Whereas this is huge. This is bigger than one person can eat. I'm going to bring this home. My husband and I will have a great dinner tonight with this giant peach. So she does that. She picks up the peach. She lugs it down the path all the way home, puts it on the dinner table. When her husband and her are about to sit down, she gets out a knife to cut the peach open. And as she starts cutting the peach, she hears a sound. It's wah, wah, like a baby crying. As she cuts a bit more, it starts to sound like, "Don't cut me, don't cut me." So, shocked, she puts the knife away, and the peach splits open, and inside there's a baby. So, in this peach, there is a baby. Surprised, the old man and old woman don't look at each other and don't know what to do. They've been childless all their lives, but seeing this cute, vulnerable infant, they decide that even though they don't have much to offer, they will share what they can and raise this baby. So they do that. They feed him a bowl of rice, what little rice they have, and he grows. And for years this goes on. They feed the baby grows, and eventually becomes a child. The child becomes a slightly older child. And they name this child Momotaro, which literally means Peach Boy. So Peach Boy becomes, gets a little bit older, and he hears news of this demon island. Now, on this demon island, there live demons that come and terrorize the countryside. They steal food, they steal crops, they harass the people, do all sorts of evil, bad things. And young Momotaro decides he wants to do something about this. He is going to go conquer the demon island and drive the demons away from the countryside. So he goes to his parents, says, "I'm going to do this. I am going to conquer Demon Island. I am going to drive the demons away from Japan." And the old man is like, "No, my son, don't. It's too dangerous." But he insists and eventually gets his wish to go and travel. As he travels over the mountains, the valleys, and the forest, he runs into a dog. The dog starts chasing him, but he has food. His mother gave him some dumplings, and he feeds the dog a dumpling. He says, I'm on this mission. I am going to drive the demons away from this land. And miraculously enough, the dog listens. The dog joins him on his... The dog says, if this is such a great quest, I will go with you. And so the boy and the dog go on their way. They run into it. They find a monkey. Now the dog tries to chase the monkey. But the boy says, no, 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 to the dog. The dog stays back. And the monkey asks, what brings you to this area? And so the boy says, I am on a quest. I am going to drive the demons from Demon Island. And he offers the monkey a dumpling. And the monkey volunteers to join them. Further a little along on their path, just as they were about to reach the shore, they find a pheasant. Now the monkey tries to chase the pheasant, but again the boy says, no, 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 don't chase the pheasant. The pheasant should please come join us. We are on a quest to conquer Demon Island and rid this land of demons. So the pheasant says, okay. The boy gives him a dumpling, and they go on their way. They sail across the water. They come to Demon Island. There's a huge gate. They don't know how they're going to get through it. This huge fortress that keeps them out. So the pheasant flies over the fence, sees all the demons are sleeping. The monkey climbs the fence, goes over and opens the gate, and the boy and the dog are able to get in. They launch a surprise attack. It's an epic battle. Momotaro has a great sword that he fights the demons with. The dog bites their legs. The pheasant pecks their eyes out. All working together, they defeat the demons one by one, conquer the castle, and get the treasure. Now, having achieved this, they make the demons surrender and promise to never harm the countryside again, to stay away from the land, the crops, and everything else. Momotaro and his new friends travel back home to his village and share the demon's treasure with everyone. He makes especially sure to buy special treats for his new friends, the dog, the monkey, and the pheasant. And they all live happily ever after.
Thank you, Vlad. Okay, next I'd like to call up Julie to evaluate Kenji's speech.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Kenji did his first speech from the storytelling manual, which I think is unique to this club. I don't think many people have actually tried this manual. So I thought you did a really good job, especially since it was impromptu. And you've been doing that a lot of times now. I think this is your third impromptu speech.
Wow.
So nicely done. You're improving as a speaker, as you're very natural when you're up here. Nothing that you say is forced. It's very sincere. Even your hand gestures. And what I've noticed is that your pauses, you're using pauses at the right time more and more, because in your past speeches, for example, instead of pausing after a comma or a sentence, sometimes you would pause in the middle of a sentence to come up with the words. So you're becoming really good at doing that. So going through the list, how did the speaker attract your interest to the story? And were you entertained? I was very entertained. You built up the story very well, and you kept me guessing to the end, because I didn't know what to expect at all. What techniques, tempo, rhythm, inflection, etc. did the speaker use that were especially effective? Like I said, you had good pauses, tempo, and volume. Comment on the speaker's use of vocal variety in telling the story. I think that this could be something that you can try to improve on, to use more vocal variety. And one thing that makes a great storyteller is somebody who tries to use voices like Robin Williams does. So if you can try, I think that would enhance the storytelling a bit more. So for example, when you're saying quotes from a character's line or the dog's line, if you have different voices for different people, I think that would be very entertaining. So what parts of the story were most exciting? What parts, if any, slowed the story? The most exciting part for me was the woman finding the baby in the peach. And I think everybody agrees with that. The story didn't slow down. You were confident and natural with being on stage, and you had great hand gestures. So one of the questions is, were you able to visualize the story in your mind? I was, and that's because of the hand gestures you used. So for example, describing the size of the peach. So what was the idea or mood the speaker was trying to convey? I thought it was thrilling. Hopefully people agree with that. And was the speaker successful? Very successful. So great job. And I look forward to your next speech.